All right, we're gonna go over a few quick things.
Yeah.
No more bathroom right now because we have to go over stuff. I don't want you to miss anything. Is it an emergency? Okay, then ask your friend or watch the video later to find out what you missed about what's coming up. Go. Bathroom breaks should happen the second you walk in the door. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Go.
Why is the light on?
Just change it up a little bit. I know, I'm having whiteboard problems. I cleaned it and now it's making it worse.
Just use color.
I did, and it made it look beautiful, and then I started writing and erasing and it made it look a lot worse, okay? I'm just having some issues. I'll figure it out. Hi, what does this mean?
Quiet.
Thank you. So, real quick, it is Wednesday. What is due tomorrow?
The practice.
Our practice test.
I did the online one.
Oh, good. So, let's go to, this isn't your class, but it doesn't matter, it's all the same. Okay. Why do I hear noise? Okay, on your Canvas page, you have a module called, oh, whoops.
Free.
It's doing it again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's because I think it's my PowerPoint that's messing up.
It's just being really stinky. Stinky monkey sniffer. How is it?
Alright, it's working now. Okay.
That's really mean.
So, why is this so small? Okay, shh, Bo, you need to just like stop all the giggling, okay? So, the practice test materials, there are 3 things. All 3 things are very important. The first one is a just in case you lose the paper that I gave you. I don't want you coming in tomorrow and saying, I lost it so I couldn't do it, okay? Even if you use that voice.
I lost it.
No. All of your thoughts, just wait until the end of the period, okay? We'll share them with you later. So, if you lose your paper by accident, and you'd like, oh, I know, I can tell her that I just lost the paper. Then, I'll be like, oh, but it's right here on Canvas. So that's there for you. We're not chatting, right? The next thing is the digital practice test, okay? Because remember how I took off 7 questions from the paper one?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't put the 7 ones that I'm adding, I can't put it on the paper one, it just doesn't work like that. But I did make a little mini practice test with those 7 questions so that you could practice them digitally. It doesn't act like a homework where you can try a few times to answer it. It acts like a test. Do I care what your grade is? No, it's not going in my student. But do I want you to do it? Yes. How am I gonna know that you did it?
Work.
Showing all work. I'm not even gonna check Canvas to see if you submitted it. I wanna see all of your work for 7 questions and your answers.
I have it in my notebook. You want me to get that?
Not now, it's for tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so your digital practice test, when you click on it, it's going to open it up just like a little text. It will give you 7 questions. You will take them, you will write it down on separate paper. You will probably need graph paper to show your work for this as well. If you want to take some home with you today, please stop by my office in the back and grab some graph paper, okay? So, excuse me. Remember what we said about those thoughts?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. The last thing, and I saved the best for last, look what I have for you. Who did all that beautiful work? You don't have to thank me.
Thank you.
But it is appreciated.
Thanks.
Tips aren't necessary, but always appreciated. Just kidding. Don't that would be so awkward and I'd get tired. Okay, do you see all this, guys? Oh no, I gave you all the answers. I don't care if you have the answers, because if you show me that you got the answers for tomorrow, you get a 0 for your participation grade. But if you show me all the work, now do you have to write every word that I wrote? No, but you have to show me that you know how to do the problem because you used my tips for your help. All 10 pages, just for 8 questions. That's what I do for you on my weekends, so please use it. Don't you dare come into this room tomorrow and tell me that you didn't do your practice test. If I did your practice test and spent this much time on it, you better do it, because you're the one taking the test, and now you can sharpen your pencil. Thank you for listening.
Do you have another physical copy of it?
Of this, I only have
Not the
one.
notes, but like the actual practice test.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, no sharpening pencils.
Oh, you know where I put it? I was trying to be organized, and I put it over here, and then I forgot about it. Yeah, just don't forget to cross out number 2, 6, and 11. Okay, thank you. And thank you for spelling accepted correctly. It's not a hard one. It's a hard one to spell correctly. Can you spell it correctly?
I did?
Yeah. Good job.
I tried to spell it incorrectly.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Okay, so now we're gonna go back. We're gonna open PowerPoint. We're gonna actually get to the lesson, and hopefully it won't be all sorts of annoying. No, it's all PowerPoint. Yes, Jocelyn. Correct. Just show me all your work.
Are we going over practice now or?
Tomorrow.
Okay, so.
Tomorrow is our review. Friday's our test.
Today is 2.4.
Yes, and guys, there is no other homework tonight except for the practice test. Okay, so we're gonna learn a new lesson. We're gonna learn a new lesson today, but you're not going to have a homework for this lesson because you're gonna practice it on those questions that are on your practice test. Why am I getting so much noise? It is not very kind or respectful to me, who is trying so hard to get you guys ready for this test, okay? On test 1, did I spend over a month teaching you the material so that you could be as prepared as possible? And then when most people bombed it, did I add 25 points to your test and then another 10 points as a bonus? Do you see what I do for you guys? So keep your mouths closed for me until I start asking you questions about math. Got it?
Okay.
Lesson 2.4. Here we go. We are learning about parallel and perpendicular lines. But Mrs. Legg, we've been learning about equations of a line this whole time. Why are we just learning about parallel and perpendicular lines? Because, I'm so glad you asked, because, Bo, pay attention up here. Because we're talking about comparing equations of the lines that are parallel and perpendicular to each other. So, somebody show me what parallel lines look like with anybody, everybody. Good. Usually we go like this, or sometimes we go like this, right? Show me something like this.
Oh yeah.
Right. Can I do this?
No.
No, why?
That is a perpendicular.
Well, it's not really
Because they're not
perpendicular. It's not perpendicular, but it's good. They're gonna meet if I could bend that way, which I can't. But if I make them perfectly parallel, tell me what you think. Tell me what relationship the slopes will have of parallel lines. What will the relationship of the slopes be of parallel lines?
Oh!
Screaming O is not gonna make me call on you. Angelina?
They're the same.
They're the same. So you wanna know the easiest part of this lesson? Charlotte, I'm talking. The easiest part of this lesson is that when you are given a line and it says, hey, tell me the equation of a different line that's parallel to it? Well, I'm gonna take the slope and I'm gonna copy and paste it into my new line, right? Because my other line, even though it won't be the same line, if it's parallel to it, will be y equals 3/4 times x plus something, right? Plus or minus something. Yeah.
So basically, you have one on the negative and one on the positive, theoretically the same.
I didn't understand.
One, so basically you have like positive one on the line, going like that way.
Okay, horizontally?
Yeah, horizontally.
Yeah, so if you,
backward.
yep, horizontal lines
And
can be
then you
parallel.
basically just mirror it to the bottom.
Yep, exactly. Because if they're horizontal, if you have two horizontal lines that are parallel, they have the same slope. What's that slope?
0.
0, right? Same slope. Okay, and we will actually have that coming up in an example. Okay, so let's look at this question. We already got like the secret passageway to getting almost the entire problem done. It says, what is the equation of the line in slope-intercept form? That's going to be really important.
Okay.
That passes through the point 8, 9, and is parallel to this line, okay? I don't like answers, remember? You know me, I don't like answers, I like process. Okay. If I ask a question and you have the answer to that question, I would love to hear it, okay? But I don't like when people try to get the answer to the problem before I've explained the process to the class, because it's not helpful for learning for everybody, right? Okay. So, if I have a given equation, do I want to use this whole equation and say, I know, it's y equals 3/4 x minus 2. That's the line, that's the equation of the parallel line. What's wrong with that?
Is that
The y-intercept, you have to change that.
Yeah, the y-intercept is not going to be the
You
same,
either make it
right?
higher
It's
or
going to be
make
in a
it
different
lower.
spot. Yeah, it could be +5, it could be 1,000, right? But it does have to pass through this certain point. So if they didn't give us a point and they said, write any equation of the line, that's parallel to this, we could just make up our y-intercept, right? I could put +100 or -1,000 or +3.9. I could make the y-intercept anything I wanted, and it would be parallel to this as long as I had the same slope. Thank you. I'm glad one person is paying attention. Okay, so since it's asking for a line that goes through this specific point, we know the slope is going to be 3/4. We know a specific point is 8, 9. What formula do we know where all you need is your slope and your point?
Point slope. I mean,
Point.
point slop. actually.
Yeah, point slope form. So we're gonna use point slope form to write out what we know, then we're gonna simplify it into a beautiful slope intercept form, okay? So, first we have point slope form, which is, shout it out.
y and then supposed to be
No, that's slope intercept.
Minus y.
Oh, well,
Uh-huh.
m parentheses x minus x1
Okay. And if you were reading it off the board, that's okay, because you don't have to have this memorized. I'm just glad you're participating. That will be on the board on your test. It's on your EOC reference sheet for any test, quiz, homework assignment, or state test you ever take. So, point slope form. Now we just fill it in. I already have my slope. You literally copy and paste the slope in. 3/4. Now, I just fill in my y1 and my x1.
Y minus 9.
9 and then 8.
So y minus 9, and then x minus 8. Good. Now, there's nothing wrong with this equation. If it just said, what is the equation of the line, we could put it in point slope form. But since they're specifying that they want it in slope intercept form, we have to take it from here to y equals mx plus b colon. And guess what? We're gonna do what you guys love to do. Distribute!
Hooray!
We're gonna simplify this by distributing. Alea, can you see in the way that I'm standing right here? You can? Okay. So you're getting all this down? All of it? Everything that I've written on the board so far you have down? Okay. You know how sometimes you want help on your homework and stuff, and I'm always there for you, helping you on your homework? Next I'm gonna say, show me your notes from the class, and then I'll help you on your homework, okay? All right, so we're going to distribute over here, so we still have y minus 9 on this side, nothing we can simplify yet. We have what? 3/4 x. And then what I would recommend with this kind of crazy action over here, when you're multiplying 3/4 times a -8, do it on the side so you don't do it in your head. 3/4 times -8 over 1. Cancel, cancel, and we get what?
6.
2/3.
Doing what?
8.
Are we having trouble multiplying
Negative
fractions? Yes, thank you.
Very much.
We are having trouble multiplying fractions?
Yeah.
Okay, so as much as I would love to take time to go over those rules again, unfortunately that would be like an extra help thing, because that's something we have to know. Have to know. It is not taught in Algebra 1.
Wouldn't it be a
Okay.
-2 instead of a -2?
It is a -2.
Okay.
This is a -2 right here. Negative, I cancel out the 8, so it's
okay.
2, and the answer is -6, because we can reduce our fractions before multiplying. You can reduce any numerator-denominator pair as long as they are being multiplied together. Just reduce them before multiplying, it makes it so much easier. -6. So here we go, -6. Not done. It is so close to being in slope intercept form. Carmine.
+9.
Good. +9 on both sides. Y equals 3/4 times x plus 3. Now somebody in my last class said, but what did you do with the -2? I didn't do anything to it. This isn't part of my answer. I just took that slope and ran with it and used the slope and the point that it goes through to get the equation that it asked me for. If I wanted to, I can show that these are parallel. I can go ahead and graph them on this. Watch. Let's take the equation that it gave us. The y-intercept is -2, so I can plot my first point there, and then I've got 3/4, so rise 3/4. There's a line. Let's make sure this line is parallel to it. I've got a +3 for my y-intercept, and then I've got 3/4, so I'll go up 3/4 again.
Oh wait, we're trying to find a line that's parallel to it.
Yes. It says, write an equation of the line, which is what we did, in slope-intercept form, which is what we did. We went from point-slope form to slope-intercept form. That passes through the point 8, 9, which is what we used to fill in our point-slope form, and is parallel to this
Oh, so
line.
that's what we used to find the y-intercept.
We find the y-intercept by simplifying the point-slope form.
Yes, we're solving that in like.
Right, but this has, somebody before, I just want to make this clear, somebody was like, well, how did you get this to turn into that? Nothing turned into anything. They're two completely separate lines.
Yeah, I'm just saying
that are
you
parallel.
use the
Yeah,
points
no, I'm not.
to solve for and find the y-intercept.
Right, but I'm not using -2. -2 has nothing to do with anything. I'm using this point and my slope, and that's it. We good? I just want to make sure that
You
nobody
use
gets
that to
confused.
Find the slope, which is 3.
No.
No,
The
not-
slope is given to us. We literally copy and paste the slope into our point slope form.
I'm talking about the point. If you use the
Yeah, we use our point, 8, 9, and we put it in for our specific point, x1, y1. 8, 9. Good?
It wasn't what
Kind
I
of.
was saying, but
Oh, what was I saying?
I'm asking if we use the points the point.
This point?
Yeah.
Okay.
To find the y-intercept. And
Okay.
that's what we did, right?
Well, what we did was we used the point to get it into point slope form. Then using that information, we simplified point slope form, which eventually simplifies into, it morphs into slope intercept form. So yes, these two numbers help us kind of compute and eventually get our y-intercept, but only because we plugged it into point slope form and then distributed and simplified. So yeah, so the way that we get our y-intercept is by using all of this information. But there's no way to go, oh, if the point's 8, 9, then it's positive 3. Like, you can't just make a direct connection. You have to plug it in, simplify, and then when it's written in slope intercept form, there's your y-intercept.
Oh
my God.
The phone is ringing.
Okay. Sure. Welcome back. Is that why you weren't paying attention? Because you knew you were going home?
No, I just started out.
Oh.
Oh my god.
All right. All right, guys. So, we're gonna try these on our own, but while you're working, if you need some pointers,
No, that is the one.
Good job.
thank you.
I got you.
Get it? Pointers, points. If you need some pointers, I'll point them out to you.
Actually, point slot.
Point slot, okay. But I needed to be silent.
She can also help
Lily,
us.
sit up. Yeah, she could also help you, but I'm gonna write some pointers, some steps on the board. And while you guys are working, if you need help, you can raise your hand and one of us will come over to you, okay? So step 1, what did we do? It says, write the equation of the line that passes through the given point and is parallel to the line. So what did we do first? What did we do first on that last one? Faith.
I rewrote what, the, like, regular equation that we
Okay, the given equation, okay.
and then I plugged in the slope.
Good, stop there. That's all I want for now. That's first step. Good. Identify slope. And then I'm even gonna write copy and paste. Because it's the same. So you said you plugged that in. What else did you plug in? Yeah, Faith.
The coordinates.
The coordinate points, yeah. Then plug slope and given point into what? What do you plug it into?
The y1 and x.
Yep, point slope form. Lastly, did we leave it in point slope form? Faith. We didn't leave it in point slope form. What did we do lastly? Yep, we simplified it. Just so you guys know, if you are a student who emails me and asks for homework help, I will never be mad at that, just so you know, I will never be mad at that. But if you are also a student who does not copy this down and then goes home and tries to do your homework and then wants help, there's a little bit of a discrepancy there, okay? Something's a little off. Hold on. So, you better make sure you're doing what you need to do in class so that you have everything you need on the homework, and then after that, and you need help, that's when you ask me, okay? Go ahead. A is not correct. B is correct, but I just want you to simplify as much as possible. The great news is I wrote the exact steps, step by step.
Oh wait, I have to put.
And then you want us to do 8.
Miss Sarah, would you help Grace and over here, please? He's struggling to get started on this one. No, I want you to simplify this equation. What's 0 times x? Yeah. You want to check? So that is correct. Very good.
How do you get
Okay.
First, write out the problem. Write out the problem. Faster. Slower.
Yeah.
Slower. Next up, write out
Can I see your work? Because I want to see my So this is almost directly why this. Okay, there we go.
X minus 3.
No. So
What's the difference from
Where'd my pencil go? Found it.
Now
you did.
Yes!
I put 5 twice.
Now what? Both.
Okay, and then you.
Now what?
Okay. So yeah, you're missing some steps here. Okay. So when you multiply and you cancel them out, you get 8 and negative 2. I don't know why you do negative 2 here.
Give me a calculator.
Times 3. Cancel. Negative 2. So this is negative 2.
So you do.
Yeah, this one is correct. I'm gonna show you on the board how you actually are supposed to write it a little bit simpler, but it's that is, you did something wrong with your positive and negatives here. This should not be a positive here, that's why. That is correct. I'm gonna show you guys, everybody's writing it that way. I'm gonna show you how to simplify it.
66.
Where's the, this is correct. For B, do you need help? Are you asking for help? Okay, so I'm gonna go over it on the board, so I'm gonna need help.
Wouldn't you and then does it matter?
Would you rather earn $2 or owe $2?
No, but can I put negative at the end?
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, Yeah, but you should show all your work, because what if you forget about the negative, because you were just gonna use it later?
I need help.
That's like saying, can I just pay you back later? When I feel like it?
Can I pay you back in like 15 business days?
Okay.
Yeah, no one days.
All right, so guys, I think everybody got A pretty well. Raise your hand if you still need help on A.
Me.
Okay. Shh. Okay, I'm gonna do it up here. We're gonna copy and paste that slope, right? Into our y minus y1 equals slope. We're gonna copy and paste 2/3, and then we need our x minus our x1. Our y1 is 5. Our x1 is -3. This is really important to protect that sign, which is really kill the cockroach and change the sign. Are we good? Okay. Y minus 5 equals negative, oh, no I didn't, okay. -2/3 x plus, or minus, we have a -2/3 times 3. -2/3 times 3, cancel, cancel, -2. Add 5 to both sides. Y equals -2/3 x plus 3. That is, what's wrong? Oh,
Wait, I got positive.
you got +2?
I multiplied. Okay.
Look up here, did you get x plus 3 for this? Did you kill the cockroach and change the sign? What did you put here?
I put x minus 3.
You put x minus 3? Okay, that's because the formula is x minus whatever your x1 value is. And if your x1 value is a -3, then kill the cockroach and change the sign, okay? See how one little thing like that can throw the whole problem off? Okay, for part B, this one tried to trick you. It gave you a slope of 0. That just means that it's a horizontal line, okay? A slope of 0 just means that line is going like that, okay? And we don't know where it is on the y, acting on the y as a y-intercept, but this one's at -3, right? This one's down here. This one's down here, we got -3. It's got no slope. 0. Okay? Everything okay?
So the front office called and said for Carmine for early dismissal, and he's not here yet.
Carmine?
Carmine.
Oh, okay, he's in the bathroom. When he comes back, we'll tell him. Okay? If they call again. But yeah, thank you. All right, so for this one, again, we're gonna still follow the same steps. Identify your slope. It's 0. Copy and paste it, and also plug in your slope and your given point.
Put 0/1 because it makes it easier to do the math.
That's totally fine.
To like distribute.
Okay, I'm gonna show you a little trick with our friend 0, okay? Y minus 4 equals slope, which is 0, times x minus 1, right? Do you agree that the two things that are being multiplied together are 0 and this? Does it really matter what this is?
No.
Because when it's multiplied times 0, what's gonna happen?
It's just gonna turn into
Bye-bye.
It's gonna go bye-bye. When something goes bye-bye, what's the value? 0. So
Bye-bye.
since this entire thing disappears, that's why I said I'm gonna show you a trick here. You could put it over 1 and then distribute, you distribute your heart out. But if you see that it's just, these are just two factors being multiplied together, you don't need to distribute the 0 because it's being multiplied times 0. It'll cancel out. So you're like, well then it's just like y minus 4. What is it then? Well, it's y minus 4 is 0, right? It cancels out to 0.
What about x? X is like, I said 0.
X is poof, you're gone.
So it's 0.
Okay, yeah, so it's just 0, but we still need to simplify this. It's not in slope-intercept form. Watch.
Don't we need an x?
Plus, well, I'll get to that in a second. Plus 4. Y equals 4. Guess what? This is a line in slope-intercept form. You want to know why? Because this is the same thing as this. Just like that. It's just simplified. You want to know what it looks like? Positive 4 on the y, 0 slope.
Oh yeah.
when you have an equation y equals 4,
Probably for common.
it means if the x is gone, it means that, guys, hi, yeah, it's okay. I'm the one teaching, not them, okay? I know it's so juicy, you know, what do they want to know? Somebody from the front office is calling. Guess what? Nothing ever exciting has happened from a front office phone call. Nothing, I promise. Somebody's going home, I need to take attendance, that's probably the next phone call I'm gonna get. So can we please focus on this? It's not all that exciting, but I promise it's more exciting than what the front office is calling about. So the equation y equals 4 is the same thing as y equals 0, x plus 4. And they showed it to you this way to give you some help, okay? But they could have just said, hey, here's your equation. And you're gonna be like, oh, where's the slope? And where's x? It's gone! So they were actually kind of kind to you on this one by showing you that the slope is 0. But technically, if your slope 0, 0 times x is 0, your line can be written as y equals 4. Your line can be written as y equals x minus 3, and it's simply a horizontal line.
Will that work on like future problems online if you type
Totally.
it in? That
If
would
you
be
wrote
right?
that, I don't know if it would accept it. It would have to be simplified to this. Yes, Faith?
Ross was just asking how to the negative first, so can I explain it or not?
Yeah. Okay. Next. You're gonna miss it. This is really important. If it's an emergency, go, and then you can just watch it on video later. But I'm gonna continue, so if you wanna learn, you either stay or you watch the video, okay? Jack, you gotta stay awake, dude. Got to stay, yep, whatever you need to do, stay awake. So, that was all about parallel lines, right? Parallel, parallel, parallel. They have the same, what, Lily? Nobody tell her. Parallel lines have the same. She's gonna think of the word on her own, it's just gonna take her a second, and that's okay.
Okay.
Parallel lines have the same. You can even use your notes if you want. What? No, parallel lines have different y-intercepts. They have the same. Okay, it starts with an S, it starts with a S. Slope. Do you remember talking about that? Okay, so that entire thing that we just did was showing that parallel lines have the same what?
Slope.
Slope. Perpendicular lines don't have the same slope, but there is a relationship. I can't have that noise, okay? Oh, is that you? Okay. Perpendicular lines have a very interesting slope relationship. It's not the same, you can't just copy and paste. Do you have a question?
No, I think I know what it is.
You know what it is? Let me just explain it. Eyes open. Okay, and you stay awake. Okay. Good. So, the slopes of perpendicular lines, let me ask you something. Are both, here are my perpendicular lines, are they positive or negative?
One is positive, one is negative.
Very good. One is positive and one is negative. So, you can already see that there's going to be a difference in the slopes, right? But it's not even that simple. They're going in different directions. So, there is a relationship because they're consistently going in different directions, but it's not the same slope. What is it, Brianna?
The reciprocal.
Yes, very good. And more specifically, the opposite reciprocal. What do we mean by opposite?
The other side.
It's negative.
Negative or whatever,
Positive.
whatever
Negative.
the other sign is, the
Doing
opposite
the
sign.
online thing, one of them I got wrong, it was this, and I'm like, what? How do you find that out?
For what online thing?
The practice test. and
Oh,
then-
yeah, we didn't have that lesson.
Yeah, and then tried it out, and then it showed the correct answer was the reciprocal. and
Yes,
I'm
oh,
like,
so you
this
figured it out.
makes sense.
Oh, okay, so you learned something, good. All right, so guys, this is very important. Perpendicular lines have the slope relationship of opposite reciprocal. Opposite means you're positive or you're negative, right? And reciprocal means flip your numerator and denominator. We already know that, so we've been working with reciprocals for a while, right? So, let's look at line L. Line L has a slope of -4/3. What would be the perpendicular line slope?
Positive, positive 3/4.
Good, positive 3/4. What do reciprocals multiply together to get? We use reciprocals when we want to cancel out a fraction, right? What do they multiply together to get?
0.
No.
That's not 1.
1. So what do opposite reciprocals multiply together to get? -1. Opposite reciprocals multiply together to get -1.
Why is that important?
It's a good question. Because it's like kind of a preview to in geometry that will be very important. But also, you never know what kind of question they're going to give you on your homework. Not that I assigned a homework for this particular lesson, but I just never know what they're going to throw at you, and sometimes they'll ask you a question like that. But I love it, so why is that important?
For that
It
to
was
seem
totally
like rude, I
respectful.
was like,
It wasn't rude. It was just
like-
really funny. Because I was actually thinking, like, do they even, like...
How does that relate here?
Yeah. Okay, so we did all this. I want to move on to this. Here we go. This is the last thing we gotta do, okay, so pay attention. And I'll have a Jolly Rancher question for you at the end, but only if you have all your notes on your papers, okay? Jack, eyes up, head up, eyes awake, okay? What is the equation of the line that passes through a point 1 second and is perpendicular to this graph, or to this line? So it sounds just like the same question we had in example 1, except for one tiny little word. Well, it's not a tiny little word, it's a big word. What is it? Yeah, the first example, it said what? And it was so easy because we could copy and paste the slope, right? Is it pretty easy to do perpendicular with the slope? Yeah, sure. You can't copy and paste it, you gotta do flippies and then switch the signs. Flippies and switchies. Okay? So, if we have a slope here of -1/4, yeah. The y-intercept to graph it?
What do we do with the 11?
What if they're perpendicular, but they are, like, what if I have a line, let me see. And then what if the perpendicular line was like that? So they don't have the same y-intercept, right? I think maybe just on this example, because they crisscross.
Yeah, what do we do with the y-intercept? Like,
So
how do we
just,
do that?
we basically ignore it, because the y-intercept is just part of this line, but we don't need it, because again, we're gonna use point slope form. Jack, please, please. Remember, that's what we did in example 1.
hard for me to
Step
remember.
1, it's okay. Step 1, in the first example, was identify your slope, right? Step 1 here is also going to be identify slope. And then do opposite reciprocal. okay? So same step, but an extra step to that step. We can't just copy and paste it. We need to identify the slope of the given equation and then use it to get our opposite reciprocal. Okay, as soon as you find the right pen or pencil, you can continue taking notes. Okay, did you get this down, Lily? Okay, step 2. What do we do?
Is it the same
Plug
as last
slope.
time? You have
Plug slope and
You-
then.
Stop talking over each other, it's okay. Yeah, go ahead, babe.
you have to plug the slope of the given point and the point of.
Yeah, so we're gonna plug the new slope and the point into point slope form. Oh, I don't. Okay, so let's do that. And then we'll go ahead and what was the last step of that one that we're gonna steal also? Simplify, good.
Change the slope into
Simplify to slope intersect form. Yeah. Well, this is so much worse than it was before. Okay, so we're gonna follow these steps. The only difference with perpendicular is you can't just copy and paste your slope. You gotta do flippies and switchies, okay? So if the slope is -1/4, let's flip it. And switch it from negative to positive. What's 4/1?
4.
4, simplify that slope. Now let's plug it in using our point. Y minus, y minus 7 equals 4 times x minus 1. Now they gave us nice easy positive numbers for our little coordinate pair here. If they were negative, we would have to kill the cockroach and change the sign, right? We can distribute. Y minus 7 equals 4x minus 4 plus 7. You guys can say this with me or for me. Y equals 4x,
Negative.
4x
No.
plus 3. And that is the perpendicular line to our given equation.
I just got like a -1/4.
Because this is the original slope, we had to get the opposite reciprocal. So we did flippies and switchies. We switched the negative to a positive, so it'd be 4. The opposite reciprocal? We just talked about that. That to get the slope of a perpendicular line, you need the opposite reciprocal of the given slope, okay? You guys can go. We didn't get to do that practice problem, but hopefully you can get that.